hitters in the game. Both have really grown into this tournament. The short format means it's wide open, but now we find out who are the top two players. This is going to be a
crunch time. Big money match, a big pressure match. Championship. And if Mark Allen does prevail, that would equal his biggest ever payday. 22 UK Championship. That's what he's in line to receive if he succeeds this evening. Set up beautifully, Stephen.
And the stakes keep being raised as the week goes on. Will we see one in this final? I can't imagine either player will be happy to jeopardise the frame at this stage.
Found in the jaws of a top corner pocket.
Yeah, he was in so much trouble there, Luca. It was like a 1 in 10, 2 in 10 shot. That
in the meat of the match, I'm sure he would have potted that, but right at the start, that was a far from easy opener.
To play right down the table for that red closest to the right corner pocket. He's got options, should he? He's another one of these players, Luca, that he doesn't mind his cue ball travelling, backs himself to regain precise position. You know, nicely in amongst the reds. He really wants that red next to the black away. He can't remove that until that one closest to right corner is gone.
15.
Not averse to the odd left-handed shot.
16.
Power, he can do so.
Well, he doesn't want this cue ball to rest behind this red on the top cushion. Now, the reason Mark is playing this red, trying to get the cue ball hidden over behind the green, is because it provides an opportunity to cut off the left side of the reds. Played a couple of loose ones in this match so far. Still early days, of course. It takes a lot out of the players.
I do like the one session final as well.
Title and, of course, the huge price tag that comes with it.
Brecel's wields the rest. Only 3 missed. That's a pretty good strike rate, Stephen.
It is, but interestingly, Mark Allen's 5 from 5, which really does back.
Yeah, to pot 5 balls in total during a tournament, that shows one of two.
So,
Are these
let's
reds
see.
close?
Future off either of the reds along the top cushion. But there's a future where the cue ball finished there. A bleak future for Mark.
Across and try and rest up on this red.
Luca Brecel's had the better of their recent meetings, winning 4 of the last 5.
Coming at will turn it over. It did.
One.
Had to catch that initial red a little thicker, which would just almost transfer and reverse the other red into the opposite side of the pocket. Surprised that that was left as an option.
Luca Brecel, 1. Five. Miss.
Luca, so all sorts of things have gone wrong there.
1.
Just looking to put the finishing touches to it. He's played that nicely.
5.
Although he'd like that one back.
Luca Brecel, 5.
Luca. Because we say that Alan needs 1 snooker, which is true, but then he would need 3 reds and 3 blacks, plus the colours to...
He's just trying to keep his foot on things here. Big target in behind that brown. Yeah, that's a poor shot. That was a potential snookering ball.
At this level, if Alan could possibly...
Ronnie O'Sullivan, the second frame was vital. Very early on in the match, that proved to be the pivotal moment, really. He stole the second. Some good snookering balls on.
...13 years, he won't be panicking, but he will be a little concerned because when he dropped out of position, it was really lax, actually. The frame should have been...
Cue all in behind the brown. Well, decided to not try and be too clever there and get too much distance for Luca.
...there between black and top cushion.
he's played this very well.
So there are the 4 penalty points. He doesn't want...
Mark Allen.
Isn't it often the way after all that? But Brecel can't put the lid on this.
Put your mobile phones on silent, please.
Now,
One.
available to pop the red and play on the black. So he needs a good pot here. Bit of pace required to get up for the yellow. Doesn't want to risk missing the pot though. Yeah, good shot.
Mark Allen, 8.
It's been a very nervy frame for both players, and you can fully understand why. So much at stake.
Luca played such a below par shot to pop the red and not land on the black.
2. Mark Allen, 2.
It doesn't matter though how tenacious you are.
3.
May have been in his mouth there, Luca, when he struck that. Only the pace, gravity taking over.
7.
But finally he's got the job done. Probably 10, 15 minutes longer than it should have taken, but he's going to be 1-0 up.
It was scrappy, no sizable contributions. It lasted half an hour, but Luca Brecel has no complaints because he leads by 1 frame to 0.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point you make, Phil, because, as you say, this event doesn't carry ranking points, so that prize, I believe he will take a lot. The fact that he's competed well this week and played some really good stuff just sort of reasserts himself in his own mind that he belongs at the top of the game, playing against.
Of course, he was runner-up to Ronnie O'Sullivan last season, and also last season made the final of the Shanghai Masters.
Well, he took a moment or two there to figure out what best to do there, Mark Allen. His colour, it'd be a good chance. Oh, look where this cue ball's come to rest. This shot. Well, he's got neither. The line wasn't too bad, but the pace, no good.
Black, and he made a 59 break. That was the turning point in the whole contest.
Miss.
Just shy of a little bit of pace. Yeah, that's way too short.
Brecel did not intend the second rub off the red.
Just yet, there's a red up by the yellow that will pop to middle. Catches the secondary red and finds the corner pocket, so that little stalemate.
One. Seven. 15.
No, he's played it well.
23. Luca Brecel.
Always a tough shot when the cue ball is glued to the cushion.
Yeah, and what difference that made. If that cue ball wasn't on that cushion, he's away and running again. He needs to avoid the red near the top cushion and the way back. So he's choosing to go the thicker route, swinging it round, and that made that shot more risky. Brought the jaws of that corner pocket.
Allen stretching. Now that.
Seven.
All being a little too attacking, but he's got to find that balance. I think that's really important for him.
Yeah, and he's also just got to find his way in this match. As I say, he's 4 semi-finals this season. This is the first final for him. It feels like
14.
yeah, no. Well, he chose against it.
$22. $20. $36.
Now, it'd be interesting to see how Mark goes about. Yeah, so he's going to take this plan.
What a bonus.
Leave himself intentionally low on that plan, knowing full well that he had the option there to bring that loose red off the cushion. Sorry, that tight red off the cushion.
50.
He looks at it the right side as we look. And that just adds an element of uncertainty to the shot. You don't really want to be trying to pinch any of these pockets. left himself the angle on the black to play it from there. To black.
64.
And this is exactly the sort of... It's been a great clearance.
72.
Now a real winning his first frame of the final with a ton.
Allen finished off his semi-final win over Ronnie O'Sullivan with a break of 134.
$91. 97. 104.
Simply excellent from great way to equalise in the final of the Riyadh Season Snooker Championship. It's 1-1. 2 frames played, they have been shared. The winner lost 6-5. But triumphing here, Stephen, wouldn't
The young lad from China, Lei Pai Fan, back on the tour for the first time. He may have just crumbled, but he didn't. But it's only a big mistake if then the next player, the opponent, actually gets in. Now, what can Mark do here?
So. $15.
East, not to be, landed on the one he actually played on. Needs that cue ball to run, or is he going into them? It's into them. No, he's played it okay. Is he on one? Yeah, he's
$27.
And not just the pot, he's got to mind his cue ball here, try and get 2 cushions across the face of the black. You end up chasing the break, and that's what Mark Allen's doing at the moment. Every shot is a recovery shot at the minute. And ultimately it's hold.
Mark Allen.
Yeah, it felt like now finds himself with a little bit of work to do positionally. Blue in and out of balk.
the blue flag.
He's played the plan, and he's got it.
All of the top players simply superb at sorting out and executing when it comes to plants. And Mark Allen is especially imaginative.
Looks like a classic case of wanting to win so badly,
Mark Allen.
rather than trying not to lose it. You often find that that thought process dictates a shot selection, and all of a sudden things can spiral out of control. Going, you know, it looks like this one could go really close. That 2-frame gap, should he make it, could be quite a telling one.
23.
Well, that was frame ball. In goes the green. 63 in front, 51 on.
27.
There's no way Brecel will come back.
20.
He was the favourite for this match before a ball
30.
was spotted. And Mark Allen is looking the better of the two right now, even though it's still early days. What a shot that was. What an attempt at least. To equalise, Mark Allen made a century break. To go in front, he played a really solid frame, involving breaks of 33 and 43. 2-1 Allen.
Take your seats, please.
I'll tell you what Mark Allen would love to do, replicate the quality of his performance. It really did look the business. Both. I talked about his semi-final win here last season. He also beat. So both can take positives from their previous meetings. Congratulations to him. Causey would be proud of that in-off. That would gain him 3 points.
Grew back to balk. He is. Oh, it's a great attempt. Good cue ball. And he's played it well. That's a really good shot from Luca.
Impasse broken.
Yeah, and certainly not the time you want to see your opponent having flukes. we know just how fine the margins are at top level sport, particularly at snooker. The slight roll of a ball
ever closer, big breaks become less likely. That's just the way of it.
into the back of the pocket, but you've got to be so accurate with that type of shot. He plays it so well. Still not a clear-cut chance this for Mark Allen. Black and pink, well and truly out of commission. Oh, he's taking a chance here, and he's played a good shot. Yeah, he's been very unlucky, knowing he was always going to be on this red.
And who could possibly blame him? Just playing measured, sensible match play snooker.
Mark Allen.
Because that now hands initiative back to Luca to try and find that area in behind the green.
Missed a few of these already. Yeah. The recurring theme. Overcutting them. I thought he'd had another.
Yeah, because the pink is now in open play and available into at least 2 pockets once it goes back on its own spot as possible. That will just free it up into all 4 pockets. And that's the red he's played on straight away.
Eight.
Final. He's really grafting for it out there, isn't he? You can just see the determination in his face. He's not willing to push the boat out at all. As you say, Phil, it's hard match snooker, this.
15.
It's a real test for Luca as well to come through a match like this.
Of the yellow pocket for what they would call a rainy day. But you don't get many of those in Riyadh. The weather this week has been impacted to a 3-1 lead.
All that is, Mark Allen is basically just giving himself 2 chances every time he plays on a red ball now. He'll try and clear the more difficult reds down this end, and should he, it'll be hard to see how he makes a mistake from here in amongst the business end of the table. See this one out.
He'll march into the interval with a very useful lead.
Thank you. 43.
Mark Allen's had the 4 highest breaks of the match.
Fifth seat.
Has been absolutely logical.
Very workmanlike, hasn't it? You know, he's here to do a job tonight, and that's it. Doesn't need to be any heroic. Alan has got the advantage. 3-1 at the interval. Plenty for Luca Brecel to think about. Stew on.
55.
Just wonder who will get on there, because there's only one in here. Will they play alternative shots for a bit?
A scrappy opening frame that lasted 30 minutes. Since then, though, he's been in charge. Few dunts. And now the opportunity for a second
spot. The reality. This is what's so impressive about. Can go for long periods of time playing safety, very cagey stuff, and you know, almost extinguishing any rhythm they might have had, and then all of a sudden, bang. They
91.
That's one of the hardest things to do in the game. Sit out and be cold for long periods and then come back to the table as if you've been playing all day. This is good stuff from Mark.
96.
And his scoring this season has been good. 34 centuries already. 2 in this match, and now 2 away from being crowned the Riyadh season snooker champion. He leads Luca Brecel 3-1 in a race to 5.